Okay, so I'm out here representing with my King George the Second. Actually, King George III. King George the Third coin found in Barbados. Quite a few coins found in Barbados. T-shirt. So that's what he looks like because they're real coins found. So yeah, good start. Okay, so today I'm going to do a kind of thorough breakdown of what I wanted to be all of Hosea 1. No, all of Hosea 2. But by the time I started going through Hosea 1, I thought, okay, then maybe I'll get all of this in one video. But by the time I started going through Hosea 1 and then jumped into 2, I realised I'm not really going to get very far. So much information. So bear with me as I try to break this down, because I'm just going through my notes and there's a lot of to-ing and fro-ing. So you're going to have to bear with me as I to and fro, trying to go through the breakdown of what the Most High is actually saying in Hosea, which is not really very well coming across in any version of the Bible that we have now. And I just feel I really need to get this information across, because it's so jewel-like, it's so emerald-like. We need this information for right now. And I'll tell you why. Because it is very much highlighting the wombed man, and we need to make a move, women, because it's beyond a feeling now. It's a state where the matriarch really need to get together and realise that the solution is in our hands, because the hands is connected to the corporal, which is having the womb, which is the life. So you're going to be able to say, think, create and say how everything is moving forward, because that's how we're built. We need to start to see what God is saying about how we're built, the Most High is saying about how we're built, not what we're hearing from pastors and the like, and thinking they mean well. Some of them might mean well, however there's a wealth of stuff we need to start to take responsibility for, ladies. Anyway, so bear with me. Right, so Hosea 1, let's see, where should I start? Hosea 1, let me just jump in. So Hosea 1:6, it says, and she conceived again and bare a daughter, and God said unto him, call her name Lo-Ruhamah. And then this is the important bit. So this is let's see what version this is. This is the Authorized King James Version. So it says in 1:6, and she conceived again and bare a daughter, and God said unto him, call her name Lo-Ruhamah. And just to give you a quick backstory, so Hosea is the guy who God told to marry a number of prostitutes, which obviously was against the Ten Commandments, but it's for a reason, so I suppose it's not really against the Ten Commandments. So it's not something that people would see as being holy. We need to move away from that preconception of what we think it is to be moving in the one right now. Anyway, so and she conceived again and bare a daughter, and God said unto him, call her name Lo-Ruhamah. And this is the important bit, as I said, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away. Okay, so everybody's like of the predisposition that, Israel's been forgotten and whatnot has taken its place and all this rah. However, it then says in the next verse, so that was Hosea 1:6, and then it says, but I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and will save them by the Lord their God. Okay, so what I'm going to concentrate on is, but I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and will save them, right? So it looks like the way out is coming through Judah, right? So if we're looking around us, I'm not going to go into it. There's a few discrepancies with regard to those who deem themselves to be governing us, doing the right things and making the right decisions. But in terms of how the Most High sees it, he doesn't see them. They're not governing. They're just like, it's almost like they're just spectres. They're just not really there. They're entities who are not a part of the puzzle. So we need to stop thinking about them in terms of contacting them to get them to do this. No, you contact them to notify them that such and such and such and such, because our Father doesn't see them as having any hand in the creation of the restitution of this place. So it's us, it's Judah. Okay, so, but I will have mercy upon the house of Judah and will save them. Okay, so that's what it says in the Authorized King James. However, if you look at it in the actual text, the Hebrew text, this is what that section says. If you break it down, it's not too hard, it's just that it takes a long time. So as I said, it took me ages. So, but I will have mercy upon the house of Judah and will save them. Yeah, actually says the secured entity, the house Judah, I cherish as in my womb, seen to be cherished, safe and seen to have life. What was that we just read? I mean, just that. You know, the thing is, they've been given liberty to, and this, bless him, is our King James, the first of England and the sixth of Scotland, liberty to do their best, translating the Bible out of the Latin, which was more or less the coveted book of the Catholics, the Roman Catholics, or however you want to tout them, the sort of the regime, the Roman regime, as they decided if you can't beat them, join them. So bless him, he did translate it out of the Latin, but let's get that correct. He didn't translate it, he transliterated it, I think, as I've said on a previous video. So it's a transliteration means you give yourself the go ahead, or you give yourself the right to translate, if you like, the Bible in a way which suits your cultural context, which in terms of the Bible is not okay. However, because it is the Bible, it still retains its power. But these are the days when we need to actually see what it's saying, because we need to know what to do now. So as I said, let me just go through that again. It says, but I will have mercy. So this is Hosea 1 verse 7. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah and will save them. Yeah? Then it goes on a little bit, but because it takes so long to translate, and I'll be here forever if I go for every word, let's just concentrate on that bit. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah and will save them. It says, the secured entity, the house Judah, I cherish as in my womb. And that word is Strong's number 7355. Seen to be cherished, safe, seen to have life. Now that word is Strong's number 3467. So that's strong there. You know, that is a big, that's a big clue to the key out of any mess that we can conceive ourselves to be in. So Judah is presenting itself as something as a key. Okay, right. So obviously we know Yeshu, known as Jesus, is the house of Judah. Okay, so let's see. And then in 1 verse 10 it says, yet the number of children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea. So he's actually rescinded what he said before, which cannot be measured or numbered. And it shall come to pass that, and this is the bit that I want to concentrate on, because this is the bit that I've directly translated, in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are sons of the living God. And then it says, basically, yeah, alive. That bit is fine, actually. what I wanted to go to next is not really that much difference when you break it down in the so it's not all like totally mispresented, let's say, but there are key points where it is okay. So that bit was okay. So I just wanted to say that bit because basically, although he did say, oh, you know, he's forgotten Israel, but he remembers Judah, then he went back and said that in the place where he said, you're not my people, he will say, you are sons of, and the word there translated to El Alive, the living God. Yeah, so, you know, it's not a final word. However, Judah does still hold the key. So, wanting to look now, if I can get there quickly, okay, yeah, there we go, Hosea 2. So again, Authorized King James Version. So, it says in the Authorized King James, say ye unto your brethren, Ami, and to your sisters, Ruhamah. And then it says, let's see, plead with your mother, plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight. Right, so out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts. Right, so I'm going to, yeah, right, so that's what I'm going to concentrate on. So I'm going to try to, because my notes are rather scattered, I'm going to try to deliver this in a very succinct way. Okay, so, say ye unto your brethren, Ami, and to your sisters, Ruhamah, plead with your mother, plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts. Now that looks as if it's the cause, case, and fault of the female of the tribe. You know, you need to do something to correct whatever it is. And how I see the word is that when it resonates, in terms of a special time when things need to change, then it's going to apply to everything. So if you apply these precepts, you're, I would say, more than likely to achieve success anywhere in the age if you apply these precepts. Okay, so as I said, it's looked like, you know, oh, women have got to do something, or the women are, you know, at fault here. However, this is what he actually says. Okay, so let me try and break this down in a succinct way. Right, it says, really, in translating what the Hebrew actually says, it says, so Hosea 2 verse 1, say to your brother, my people, and to your sisters, I cherish as in my womb. Okay, same as he said about Judah, who I just said was the key. Okay, so say to your brother, my people, and to your sisters, cherish as in my womb. Same Strong's number 7355 that I mentioned earlier with regard to Judah. So that should wake us women up. There's something different here that we've led to not know or therefore believe, and so therefore not being able to activate ourselves. Say to your brother, my people, which is 5971, and to your sisters, I cherish as in my womb. And then verse 2, rebuke the house mum is working life in. Don't say rebuke the mum. Mum is, as I said in a previous video, mum is Aleph Mem. I'm trying to wrap this up, maybe around 20. Mum is Aleph Mem. Yeah, that's 517. The letters used here are Bet, Aleph, Mem, Yud, Mem, which is clearly a different word, starting with Bet, which means the house of, or inside, yeah? So, it's not 517, Strong says, because 517 is Aleph Mem. God's not stupid. If you're going to put a whole new, that's it, yeah, so we've got a whole new 3 different letters, one preempting the mum word and to at the end of the mum word, then it means something else. And if you break it down, it means the house mum is working life in. So we're to rebuke her surroundings because she's struggling in the world, right? It's not her we're supposed to be rebuking. Okay, so rebuke the house mum is working life in. And then it says again, rebuke, for is not the woman of my hand. So basically it's saying what you're making her be is not what I made her to be. And so therefore we're not getting the results that I put her there with, the Adam to get in the earth. Okay, which makes me think of this whole twin flame thing, and how I'm glad I thought about that, because I've been thinking about that a lot today. How if you know you're with your twin flame guy, or goes for guys as well, if a guy knows he's with his twin flame woman, you really have got some power, power to change things. Anyway, whole nother video that. Anyway, so rebuke the house mum is trying to work life in, because it's preventing her, the atmosphere is preventing her from getting the job done. Yeah? And rebuke, for is not the woman of my hand. Yeah? And that the woman of my hand is not, as it says 802, but 802 is Aleph Shin Tav, which is Aisha. This is Aleph Shin Tav and then Yud. So he's saying it's not the woman that I made. Yeah. So we're still in the clear there, because he's saying I made her to be unencumbered by all this stuff. So again, it's not her fault. Okay. Right, okay, so let's skip forward, and then it goes on to say, so rebuke the house mum is working life in, rebuke for is not the woman of my hand, and then it says, I, not Aisha, yeah, so where he says, where it says, just to sort of, so you can see, so where it says in the version we're used to, neither am I her husband, it actually says I, not Aisha, which is so let's see now. So when Adam said in Genesis, I made a note of it here, where is it? When Adam said in Genesis, this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. When Adam says in Genesis, this is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, and he's going to call her that was Aisha, but without a yud. So I'm going to call her my join. So when God is saying I'm not Aisha, it's the same word, but he's saying he's got a yud. So again, he's saying it's not what I meant my join with the woman to be. Yeah. And then it says it's not really 5493, which says divorce. Yeah. Put her away. It's more like let's see, it's really difficult, so many notes. It's more like, actually, okay, so it is actually like divorce, because there was only one. Okay, so basically the 5493, which is translated as divorce, is Samek Vav Reish, which kind of translates as decline. But what was here was was Vav Tav Samek Reish, which actually does. So let me just break it down. So I said this was going to be difficult. So 5493, which is when he says he's going to put her away, which actually is similar to that. And some translations say divorce, is Samek Vav Reish, which means to decline, to sort of twist away from and say no. Yeah. But what is actually in the word is Vav Tav Samek Reish, which is more like the sign of declining, which is a divorce, because you've got the tav there, you know, the tav that showed you, which is the sign, which is the last letter of so it's like the sign of declining your join, which is divorce. So that is actually correct. However, so as it says, neither am I her husband, let her therefore be put away, which is that word 5493, her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts. So let me break down what that actually says. So as I said, he says, rebuke the house mummy's working life in. Rebuke, for is not the woman that I made. Yeah, you're not allowing the woman that I made to be free and get some stuff done here. Yeah, so we all need to come together and rebuke the environment, not the woman. Okay, and then it says, I am not her husband. I'm going to need to divorce that because that's not what I made. Yeah. So this is following us rebuking the environment, not her. Okay, and then it goes on to say, idolatry facing adulteries between idolatry facing adulteries between, okay, then it says her breasts, right? So that's where it finishes. However, this is going to take me a while, so let me, not too bad, have I? Oh my goodness, it's not recording, oh God. Where did it stop? 1705. No, I'm going to have to do this again. Oh man, yeah, that's fine. When did it stop? Oh God.